Knowledge Upon Precepts presents Simply Blossom Step by Step with your host, Kay Perkins. Hello and welcome to Step by Step. I'm your host, Kay. Today we're going to have some real talk about rejection. Rejection and I go way back. We've gone a few rounds in the ring. Sometimes he wins and sometimes I've won. The more I know about it and the more I learn about it, the more I come out on top. So what can I share with you about rejection? The root of rejection grows deeper than any tree I've ever seen. In my experience, the younger you are when you meet rejection, the harder it is to escape its death grip. It's like this uncontrollable vine that chokes out every good thought that you have about yourself, and also jades the way you think people perceive you. Everywhere you look, there are new seeds of rejection taking root in places that you wouldn't even expect it to. And you know what? After all these years, as I look back over things, 9 times out of 10, I don't think that people go into a situation planning to reject us. It's really our interpretation of the actions of others that cause us to feel rejection. As for me, I met rejection at the age of 2 when my father left, married another woman, and started a new family. I don't really think he said, I want to reject this kid and give her issues for much of her life. Nor in hindsight, when I look at it, logically, it wasn't my fault. And there was nothing that I could do to make him stay. I just really believe that he did what he thought was best for him, like most others who leave their children, their spouses, or any other relationship that you want to use to fill in the blank. The thing that's most important to know about rejection is it doesn't like to be alone. It holds the door open for his friends to come over. Unforgiveness, bitterness, anger, poor self-image, low self-esteem, the list goes on and on. In my heart, I just really want to believe that if people understood the damage that they did, they would want to make a different decision. So what is rejection? Rejection is defined as the spurring of a person's affections. But it's so much deeper than that. Do you know that rejection piggybacks on the physical pain pathways in your brain? Studies have shown if you take an MRI of a person's brain who is feeling rejection, you will see the same areas of the brain activated as if they were experiencing physical pain. Our brains respond almost the same to rejection as they do to physical pain. In fact, studies show that Tylenol reduces the emotional pain of rejection. Crazy, right? So what am I saying to you? The pain of rejection is real, my friends. We are all born with the fundamental need to belong to a group. And when we experience rejection, it destabilizes our need to belong, causing us emotional pain. I see this all the time in various organizations. There's an inner circle of people and everyone else. And again, it may or may not be intentional, but the pain is very real. It's only natural to want to surround yourself with people that make you feel good about yourself. Who wants to be challenged at every turn by people that have a different way of thinking? Great leaders do. I know for me, I love to surround myself with people that think differently than I do and that know things that I don't. It helps me to grow and see things in a different light. And in the bigger picture, it causes our organizations to grow and be better and to be more inclusive of others. It is so important for leaders to be intentional when they're making connections. People feel when you're not sincere in your attempts to connect. It's important to be genuine with people. And even if it means saying, I don't know what to do in this situation, I believe people appreciate that vulnerability. When rejection is left unchecked, it creates surges of anger and aggression, especially in young adults. If we look at the shootings and mass tragedies closely, you will find that rejection is often at the heart of all of these things. Rejection tears our self-esteem down, causing us to view ourselves as worthless and unworthy of being loved. Often, it causes us to question what makes us different from other people and adds more pressure to conform so we can be accepted. which can stem into a whole nother set of issues that we don't even have time to talk about today. I remember years ago going to see a psychologist, and at the time I was struggling with being rejected. And I remember him saying, just get over it. And I thought to myself, if I could just get over it, I wouldn't be sitting here paying you $200 an hour. I never went back after that first meeting. I truly believe people would move on if they could. I remember thinking, what's wrong with me? Why do I keep getting rejected? It was like the world had a mission to say no to me, whether it was a job or a relationship or whatever the case may be. But when I started to turn the corner, I remember it was at a specific point. And I remember that I was unable to move on until I realized that my battle with rejection began long before that incident that finally made me go to the psychologist. What I realized was that 2-year-old that longed for her daddy's love and acceptance became an adult looking for her daddy's love and acceptance in men, bosses, pastors, and ultimately found it in God. There is an inner healing that only God can give us that heals the wounds of fatherlessness. So how do we begin to heal from rejection? Well, the first step is to begin to remove self-criticism from your life. I cannot tell you how many times I have sat bashing myself, listing the things that were wrong with me to try to explain rejection away. So the main problem with this mindset is that we automatically assume that rejection is a personal attack against us. But the truth is that most of the rejection we experience are a result of fate or circumstances. Going through an exhaustive self-analysis of what is wrong with you is misleading at best. Sometimes it's just not meant to be, but as Christians, we must ultimately accept that it's not in God's will for our life. What I have found over the years is that total acceptance leads to complacency. In short, if we are comfortable, we fail to continue to move forward. Discomfort makes it difficult for us to settle and to stop looking for our true fit. It is a part of the life journey. So when you experience rejection, remind yourself of all of the good things that you have to offer, instead of making a list of what's wrong with you and all the reasons that you weren't accepted. Make a list of all the things that are special and that make you uniquely you. Once you have compiled your list, expound upon it. Dig deep into these things that make you great. I know this may sound silly, but the truth is, whatever you feed will grow. We must grow our self-worth, our self-esteem, our self-image, not blot it out with doubt and negativity. Secondly, when you get knocked down, don't stay down. Rejection can knock the wind right out of your sails, making it easy to isolate yourself in the name of protection. That is exactly what the enemy wants. When you are all alone, you come up with all kinds of crazy thoughts, and they cloud your judgment. We need people to call us on our foolishness. So when some relationship doesn't work out, call someone that you know loves you, someone who knows how great you are. Sometimes a little reminder is just what we need to get back on the horse and continue to strive forward. When you have a run-in with rejection, meet it head on. Don't suppress it or deny the pain by admitting you're angry or disappointed or even hurt. Discomfort is a healthy way of working your way through these situations. We must learn to work our way through by showing ourselves compassion. Sometimes rejection comes when we are too good. There is a certain confidence that comes when you know your stuff. In most cases, when I walk into a room, I have more experience and education than the average bear. This often causes people to reject you because you can see through their crap. I have sat through interviews where the people sitting across from me have had less experience and less education, causing to see me as a threat to their position. The rejection you've experienced may stem from their feelings of inadequacy, having nothing to do with you personally, not your credentials, not how you look, not how you speak. It comes from them. I'm going to share with you what I once told myself. Get over yourself. Everything is not about you. There are so many other moving parts in these situations, and what God has for you is for you. One of the most important things I can share with you today is never to allow rejection to define you as a person. One person's opinion does not define who you are. Opinions are like hands. Everyone has at least one. Someone's trash is another man's treasure. No matter how hard it is to be rejected, it's even worse to be somewhere where you're just tolerated and not valued for being the treasure that you truly are. Today, I want to share this quote with you from Harry J.M. Newen. Over the years, I have come to realize that the greatest trap in our lives is not success, popularity, or power, but self-rejection. Success, popularity, and power can indeed present a great temptation, but their seductive qualities often come from the way they are part of much bigger temptations to self-rejection. When we have come to believe in the voices that call us worthless and unlovable, then success, popularity, and power are easily perceived as attractive solutions. The real trap, however, is self-rejection. As soon as someone accuses me or criticizes me, as soon as I am rejected, left alone, or abandoned, I find myself thinking, well, that proves once again that I am a nobody. My dark side says, I am no good. I deserve to be pushed aside, forgotten, rejected, and abandoned. Self-rejection is the greatest enemy of the spiritual life because it contradicts the sacred voice that calls us the beloved. Being the beloved constitutes the core truth of our existence. So what I found over the years is that the biggest problem that I've had with rejection has been self-rejection. I began to buy into the noise of being worthless and not worthy of being in the selected few, the inner circle, which over the years I've grown to appreciate it because it's made me draw closer to God and deepen my relationship with Him and begin to heal in ways that I never even knew that I needed to. My prayer for you today is that when you meet rejection again, these words I share with you today will resonate in your spirit. And no longer will your first thoughts be, what's wrong with me? Instead, they will be, what great thing does God have in store for me next? Never sell yourself short. God created you for greatness. And as we meet these setbacks, remember that everything is a process. It took years for you to learn to internalize rejection, and it will take time to change your thinking. So take it step by step. Meet each challenge head on. Celebrate yourself, even in the eyes of rejection. And until we meet again, be blessed.